Hi, my name is Clara Alexander and welcome to this session on questions and answers, live demonstration all about UltraStrands. And today we are talking about maintaining UltraStrands. So just in case you don't know who I am, I will let you know my name, as I said before, is Clara Alexander and I am the ambassador for UltraStrands. Now, if you don't know what UltraStrands is, it is the lightest, most versatile hair volumizing solution that I have ever seen. It is really kind to your hair and it also is so breathable because it sits directly on your scalp and it's got holes on so that your scalp rather can breathe through it. You know, it's been worn across the UK at this point and even beyond by many people that are wanting just a little bit more volume to the volume that they've had on their head, or they've got like thinning hair and they've had it for a long period of time, or naturally had thinning hair and they just want more volume. So this is a perfect solution if you're seeking additional volume, if you've suddenly started to lose your hair, you've got fine hair, or you've been through chemo and your hair hasn't grown back as you expected it to grow. This is a perfect solution for you. But anyway, I'm not really here to talk about UltraStrands, the product, because I did that last week. The first week I talked about the product itself, so what UltraStrands was about. So if you've not seen that video, I urge you just go back a couple of weeks ago and you'll see the first video. Last week I talked really about the installation process, so I actually did a live demonstration on how UltraStrands can be installed so that you get an idea as to what the installation process is like. But today I'm talking about maintenance, because maintenance is the next thing that comes after you've got your volumizer installed. And there's so many questions at this point because many people, you can't wait to get the volumizer, like really, super pumped. You're so happy, you're ecstatic, you've got the volumizer, then you get it installed, and then you go home, and then you've gone home and you're thinking, oh, so what do I do next? How do I maintain this? So today I'm here to tell you or answer all your questions, all the questions that you've asked in relation to maintaining UltraStrands. So let's go. And I'm just going to take my name off the screen now because I don't want it to impact with the questions as they come through. So, okay, my name's gone off the screen, but my name is still Clara Alexander. The first question I'm going to answer is, let's see. And before I answer any questions, if you've got any questions that you want to ask, then just post them up and I'll ask them as we go through the session. This is the final one that we are doing in this period of time, so in terms of Q&A session. So if you've got any burning questions that you want to ask, then just ask them now. If not, I'm just going to start with the session. So, okay. So first question, what product should I use on my UltraStrands? Okay. I noticed I'm not wearing my glasses, so I had to squint then. So let's put the glasses on. Okay. So which product should I use on my UltraStrand? All right. So generally speaking, with UltraStrands, there is a shampoo and conditioner set that accompanies the volumizer, and these have been trialed and tested. And we say they're trialed and tested as in we've used the products themselves. They've been used on numerous clients, and they've been the ones that have come up top in terms of keeping the volumizer soft, being kind to the volumizer, as well as your own natural hair. The range that we use is called Angel, and I will put that in the post because I don't think we have got that on standby, but I'll put that in the post after, just in case you're wanting to know what that looks like. But you can also go to www.ultrastrands.co.uk and you'll see the Angel there as well. Let me see whether I can actually do that already, because that would make some sense, wouldn't it? Let's see, can I pull this up? Can I pull this off? www.ultrastrands.co.uk. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to where the shampoo and conditioner is, and then, nope, that's not it. Okay, shop aftercare. So if you go into the actual www.ultratrans.co.uk, you will see a section that says shop aftercare, and that will show you the products. But I'm just going to see if I can bring that up on my screen. So let me use my technical knowledge. And if I've got this right, I can show that to you. Okay, so as you can see, that's what the bottle looks like. And there are two sizes. There's the bigger size, which is generally the size that you have in the salon, and the smaller size, which is still 400 ml. And you get the shampoo and the conditioner for that. Now, most salons should have that as the startup pack for you so that you can start to use it. But if you then needed to purchase any more, you can come directly to our website and purchase it there, or you can actually purchase directly from the vendor's website. So there's options there for you, so you're never going to run out of it. But the reason why we use this product is because they are also plant-based as well, aside from the fact that they smell so good. They really do. And they've got other ranges as well. They've also got the scalp range, which is good for your scalp. And they've got obviously hair growth treatments as well. And this is one of the reasons as to why we felt it was going to be a good match, because it also helps where you're able to put treatment whilst you've got the volumizer installed. So if you haven't already done so, I'd say go to the website and just check out the products that we have from an aftercare perspective. But we do urge you that our recommended shampoo and conditioner at the very basics is this product here. Other things that you might want to use, you use some sort of a thermal protection if you are putting heat on your hair as well, and some sort of like an argan oil. Now, I would say if you're putting oils in, put the oils in when your hair is wet, not when it's dry, because it helps to soak it in much better. And also, don't put too much in. Just a small amount goes a far way, because otherwise it's just going to look too greasy. And if your fine hair is also the type of fine hair that's quite oily as well, adding additional oils is just going to make the total picture not look right. So it answers the question. Products that you should use, you don't need to use that many products. Shampoo and conditioner. Sometimes you can just condition only and not even shampoo, because shampoo strips out nutrients and it strips out all the moisture. So, and the conditioner kind of like puts it all back in again. So sometimes you may not necessarily have to do the shampoo. You can just do what I call a co-wash, which is just conditioner only. And what you will do in that scenario is you'll just apply the conditioner, keep it on for about 5-10 minutes, and then just rinse it out, and then you're good to go again. I hope that's answered your question, but if in doubt, just head on to the website www.ultrastrands.co.uk and go to shop and then look for aftercare. My hair doesn't grow much. Do I still need to attend maintenance appointments? Yes, 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 yes. Like I always say, maintenance is one of the key things when you're wearing UltraStrand volumizing solution, primarily because one of the basics behind the volumizer was not to replace your existing hair, but to add to it. And if you are not looking after your own hair the way you should be looking after your own hair, you could end up with a scenario where, you know, your own hair is being impacted and your own hair is being damaged. So I'm a firm believer that you really should make sure that you are looking after your hair 100%. Now, even if you don't have much hair growth, now you only need that amount of hair growth. And let me take this off the screen so you can see exactly what I'm saying. You only need about this amount of hair growth for the volumizers to start to move about, because you know any amount of growth beyond your scalp means that the volumizer is now looser, and when it's looser, there's a more potential for it to move around on your head. Now, in terms of visibility, it does not look any different. So it's not that people are going to look at you and go, "Oh my God, your hair's like, you know, suddenly moving around." That's not the case, and I'm not saying it from an aesthetics perspective, because if it's from an aesthetics perspective, I can say, "Hey, wear the volumizer for 2 months, not a problem." But it's not that. It's about the care of your own hair. So you need to be able to make sure that you're looking after your own hair, so that in the event that your hair was going to grow back, you have got the best possible. You're basically laying the best possible framework and foundation for your own natural hair to grow back. And that's one of the key things about UltraStrands. That's why it's got the holes in it. And the holes are not there for decoration. The holes are there for so that your scalp can breathe. And and you pulling your own hair through is a plus and a bonus to enable you to be able to have the combination together that gives you the fuller look. But it doesn't replace your own hair. It won't work without your own hair, and and it's purposefully done that way. So yes, you still need to go for the maintenance appointments. It might be that your maintenance appointments are not as long if you don't have that much growth, and that will reduce the pricing. But I would say, it's always good also to make sure that your hair's been washed properly, to make sure that the volumizer looks 100% all the time. So there's all different reasons why you should attend that maintenance appointment as much as possible. If if there's a specific incident that's happened, that means you can't attend it, then that's understandable. But for everything else, really, you should attend. And I would say that should be 4 to 6 weeks at the very most. You should never go beyond 6 weeks. And going beyond 6 weeks is just, in my opinion, asking for trouble. I've cut my hair too short. Can I add more hair? Okay, so I'm presuming you mean, can you add more hair to the volumizer? Yes, you can add more hair to the volumizer, but whether that's going to compensate for the shortness that you've cut your hair to, I don't think it will. So essentially, you've always got to think before you have your hair cut. So many people, wear the volumizer and they want exactly what they had before, forgetting that their own hair grows. So I always urge you that if you're going to have your hair cut, have it cut longer than you normally would actually even wear it, so that if you needed to cut more, you can do that in stages. Because once you've cut the hair, you can't grow it back. And even though, yes, the volumizer is created to add more hair in, but it's mainly created to add more hair where you have lost the hair in terms of from the root, as in from the base upwards, as opposed to when you've cut it. So so just go very careful when you've got the volumizer not to cut off too much hair. And if you have cut your hair too short, try rocking a new style. Is that an option? At least till you decide to get a next one. And next time, please don't cut your hair that short. Which comb or brush is best to use? Okay, so this question I've answered in a video that I posted up, which talked about the different types. Well, there were 2 videos actually I posted up. One was talking about which brushes not to use, and that's a definite. You must watch that if you haven't seen that already. And that was really talking about, if you've got brushes that have got bubbles on, they're definite no-nos. Don't even go there, because UltraStrands does not like those kind of brushes. And the second video was really doing a review of 4 different types of brushes, showing you which, in our opinion, is the best one to use, but also kind of validating them from the point of that they are all okay to use, but some of them are better in some areas than others. So just depending on what you're looking for and what's going to work best for you. So so I'd say watch those videos. Those videos are in the hair club, so they should be there. And if you can't find them there, then head on to my YouTube channel, which is Clara Alexander TV, and check them out there. Can I colour my hair while UltraStrands is installed? Yes, you can actually colour your hair while UltraStrands is installed. Although what I would say is, in the areas where the actual UltraStrands sit, you probably are not going to have to colour your hair as often. You're probably more going to colour your hair in the areas where UltraStrands is not, and I think that that's a great thing to do. So go to a hairdresser to get it done. If you are colouring your own hair at home, and I know I probably shouldn't be saying this, I would say use one of those almost like the highlighters around that, just go around the edges. Do not go on the inside. Leave that honestly to when you have your hairdressing appointment. Now, what I tend to do with my clients is minimize that period of time when they're having their hair colored to when you're actually taking the volumizer off. So when it's time to take the volumizer off, which is generally on average every 3 months, color your hair then, or have a full color then. You can have the in-between colors, which your hairdresser's just doing the sides and the backs where the UltraStrands is not installed. But if you want to color where the UltraStrands is installed, I would say do it without the UltraStrands on. But bear in mind that you don't have to color your hair as often. So you can actually go 3 months without coloring your hair, just because the fact the volumizer has got more hair, and if you've got grey hair, for instance, it's not going to show up as much as if you just didn't have any volumizer. And also because most times we color our hair because it makes our hair seem thicker. If we've got fine hair, we color it because it makes it seem thicker. But now you've got the volumizer, which is adding the thickness to your hair, so you don't need to color it in the same manner. But answer to the question is yes, you can, but do that with caution, and preferably go to a salon. Preferably go to one of your approved salons. But if you can't do that, then go to your ordinary salon. But ensure that when they're colouring it where the volumizer is not. Just lift your hair up. Does the volumizer need to be sent away to have more hair added? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So when you get to the point where the volumizer, where you decide you want to have more hair added into the volumizer, bearing in mind, not everybody goes down that route. Some people prefer to have, like, a new volumizer every 6 months or every year because they just want new hair totally. So when you're having hair added in, the existing hair that you have on the volumizer is still there. So it's not that that is removed and new hair is added in. It's just in the patches where there is less hair. But yes, it's a technical job, and it is a lengthy job. So yes, it gets sent off to the actual ventilators to have the hair added in. And generally speaking, it's matched up with the hair that's already on the volumizer. So for instance, if you had highlights in the center section of the volumizer and all the hair in that center has gone, if it's not specified, what will happen is, and the outer rim is just one color, what will happen is when it comes back, it will all be one color. So you need to be very careful, or making sure that if it has got highlights, or if it had some things and that they know were no longer the case, that they are added in. The other way that you can ensure that it is kind of like restored almost to how it was before is by ensuring that your hair salon has got the order number. So if they've got the order number that was used to purchase the product, then it can be replicated in that way. But if they don't have the order number, the same as like having a receipt or not having a receipt. If you don't have a receipt, then you can't take anything back. In this case, if you don't have an order number, then it's highly unlikely that they're going to be able to replicate the colors, because they're not going to know how everything was put together. The other thing is also, like I said before, if you've cut the hair, when the hair gets added in, it gets added into the length that it's being cut to. So it doesn't get added into the original length, because it will be stupid. It doesn't make sense. You're only going to cut that away. So it gets cut, it gets added into the length that the volumizer is when it gets sent off. How often does UltraStrands need to be removed? Okay, I've answered that question, but I'll say it again. Every 3 months at the latest. You can do it before that. There is no problem in doing it before then. If some people want to have it removed every other month, for instance, some people want to have it removed every month because they want to have like a deep conditioning treatment or something along those lines, or they just like the fact that they can really scrub their hair when the volumizer is not in. So yeah. But I would say by standard, every 3 months you should remove the volumizer, and in between that you have you have V-securing sessions. Now, if you've got thick hair, and I know it might sound crazy because most people that wear the volumizer have got fine thinning hair, but there's certain levels of thinness that you can have, and some people will sit in the range of standard thin. So from a volumizer perspective, that's still quite a lot of hair. So if you're in that section of people, then you may need to remove the volumizer more often, because because the thickness of your hair is going to lift the volumizer and can also this move it in such a situation that when it comes to resecure, it's not going to be aligned 100%. So in those scenarios, especially if you need to realign the hair, you might want to have it removed more often. Do I need to wash my hair in a specific way? Well, to a certain degree, yes. Like, you'd still wash your hair as you normally would, i.e. with shampoo, with the shampoos that we recommended, and you can still wash your hair under the shower. But I do have, I'm not sure if I've got a video on this. Maybe not, but I should put a video up. If I haven't got a video up, I will put a video up on how you really should wash your hair. But essentially, you want to almost wash your hair in a massaging action. So it's kind of like you're massaging your hair as opposed to anything else. And if you've got long hair or the volumizer is long, I'd say section the hair with the volumizer. At the very minimum, have 2 sections and work with one section first. Wash and put your water on, shampoo your hair through, rinse that out, get rid of the water, and then do the other side. And the reason why I'm saying get rid of the water is because water is actually quite heavy, and the volumizer will absorb the water, and it's going to feel heavier on your head. And you want to reduce the amount of strain that you're going to feel, especially if it's the first time that you've worn a volumizer. You're not going to be used to it. So what I say is just do it in sections. The longer your hair is and the thicker your hair is, the more sections you will need. But always make sure that once you've washed it, just wring it through, and don't wring it like you'd wring a cloth, because that's not, but just like gradually just hold it and just pat it through. Just pat your hair through, and that will wring it through, and then move on to the next section. And then you do exactly the same thing when you apply your conditioner. So you apply your conditioner in sections, and then you leave it, and then when you're ready to wash it, you just wash it out in sections as well, and wringing it through each section, because that's going to ensure that you don't have this whole mass of water that is drenching your hair and weighing down the volumizer on your hair. UltraStrands has gone lighter. Okay, that's a statement. Okay, so yes, we're dealing with real hair. And just like real hair has got the potential to grow lighter, so is your volumizer, especially if it's in the sun. So if it's in the sun and it's exposed to the elements, what you will find is that you will have highlights. You'll have your hair sun-kissed because it will grow lighter. Now, growing lighter is a feature of it. Unfortunately, that's not something that we can stop. However, you should be able to, or you can, color it darker. So if it's gone to a certain complexion or color that you're not happy with, then just take it to the salon and they can put a color on it to just dampen it down, or take it to the color that you want it to go to. I will say though that, because especially in the summer period, if you find that your volumizer has gone lighter, it needs more conditioner as well. So it needs more conditioner in. So make sure that you have a deeper conditioning region as well in that period, because the likelihood is that the sun has sucked out a lot of the what do I say, the moisture, and you need to be able to add that moisture in. So deep conditioning is going to be great for it, and it's going to also help to make sure that it does not turn brittle. If you don't do these things, there's a likelihood that the hair could turn brittle because it's not got any supply to nutrients at all. It is dead hair, but it's got no supply whatsoever. So the only supply of nutrients that it has is what you feed it. So you've got to keep feeding it stuff. Your natural hair, on the other hand, is attached to a supply. So it can get fed nutrients. And even if you're not looking after your hair, it will look after itself. But it's not the same with the volumizer. So make sure that, if you're feeling that it's feeling a little bit coarse or what have you, put some conditioner on it, give it some love, give it some TLC, and just look after your hair, look after your volumizer like you would want to look after your own hair, bearing in mind that it's totally dependent on you. It's like a baby, it's like a child that's dependent on its mother for food. Your volumizer is dependent on you for food, for moisture, for shine, for all these things. So don't hold back on that. Can I curl or perm the volumizer? Yes, of course. It is 100% real hair, human hair. So you can you can curl the volumizer. Perming is a different story. I almost fell for that. No, so do not under any situation, circumstance, or what have you, perm the volumizer, because I cannot tell you what the results is going to be. So I cannot literally tell you if it's going to work out right well or not work out well if you've permed it. You can obviously curl it with curling tongs. That's not a problem. Temporary curls, if you put I don't know, curling rods and what have you, not an issue, not a problem, as long as you use some thermal lotion or some thermal protection to make sure that it doesn't dry out. But when it comes to perming it, i.e. adding chemicals to the volumizer, that's a totally different story. Possibly your hairdresser may well be able to do to add a perm onto it, but even that I hold a caution, because like I said, I can't tell you what's going to happen when you perm it, because the manner and the way in which we add curls to the volumizer itself is from heat. So we use heat, and we basically will put the volumizer in a high temperature and curl it around a rod at that high temperature. Now, what then happens is that because it's been so used, it's almost like it's been shocked. It's been shocked in a way that it's like, oh, okay, when I have water, I will curl, which is what creates the curling pattern. So that's why when you add water to the volumizer, you have the curls in there. And, and if you straighten it, you can straighten it. But then when you add water again, it remembers. It's like it's got a memory. It remembers that, oh, yeah, when water is added, I should curl. So then you get the natural curl coming through. So whenever we put a curl in, that doesn't apply to the natural curl. So if it's a natural straight, for instance, that's the standard natural curl of the person that own the hair. That is their standard natural curl, and you'll generally find that you'll find like a slight waving. But when we've gone and we've done like let me see, an afro kinky straight, or we've done a deep wave or body wave, these are all artificial curls that we've added, but we've added it using hot water. So if you are then perming with a chemical, I don't know what's going to happen. So I say to you, do not try to do it. Don't do that at home. No, not a good idea. Great question, though, because I'm glad that question's been asked, because somebody may have just have been thinking about perming their volumizer. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, how often do I need to replace my volumizer? That really depends on how, well, okay. It depends on two things. First of all, if you've got a very light volumizer, the lighter you go in the volumizers, the quicker it's going to shed hair, just because it's had more processing. The darker you have the volumizer, the more likelihood that it's not going to shed as much, because it hasn't had as much processing. It's primarily could even well be the same hair color as what the owner had. And again, it's the same as if you've got natural straight as opposed to a wavy or deep wave or a afro kinky. That's got more processing on that side than if you just had it natural straight. So the more processing that's had to be done to create the volumizer, the quicker it will lose its hair. So those are just some things to bear in mind. So in average, you're looking between 6 months to a year when you need to replace the volumizer. Now, what I tend to say is either have two volumizers, or at least two volumizers, or have an alternate solution to the volumizer that you don't mind wearing when your volumizer is going to have hair added. And if you want to know the ideal situation, I would say the ideal situation is 3 months, wear the volumizer, swap it out, the one that you've worn, get hair added onto that one, swap it out 3 months later, and you just keep doing that. And what you will find is that the volumizer will last much, much longer. So if you're able to do that, then that's great. But everything has got its end date, and everything has got its best before date. So even though we can add hair to the volumizer, it's not going to be as best as if you purchased as good as if you purchased a brand new volumizer from scratch. So just bear that in mind, but it still is workable. Any more questions? Okay, so I think actually that's all the questions that I've got asked. Any more questions? If you've got any more questions at this point, just post them into the comments and I'll be able to answer them. We are literally on our 30-minute time slot, so that's good. So I've been on time in answering your questions. I just really want to say thank you so much to everybody that's asked these questions. It's just been an honor to be able to answer these questions for you. I hope that it gives you a better understanding about UltraStrands itself, the product, the installation, how to maintain it. All these things are very important for you to know prior to you purchasing the volumizer. I don't, as I say in everything, I don't want anybody to go in blindly. I really want you to be informed and have the most information that you need to be able to make an informed decision. Because if you can make an informed decision, you are operating from a position of strength, as opposed to when you're going in and you're bamboozled into things and you just don't know what's truth from what's not truth. So I give you all the information here so that you are able to make a decision for yourself. But there might be questions that are prying on your mind at this point in time that have not been answered in any of these series. Just drop us an email at drop us an email, ultrastrands@ultrastrands.co.uk, and we'll answer your questions for you. The other thing is I have been approached in relation to my hair, because everybody says, well, Clara, you talk about you have got fine hair, you've got thinning hair. Why do you not wear the UltraStrand volumizer? Or do you wear the UltraStrand volumizer? Now, at this point in time, I do not have the UltraStrand volumizer installed. I have worn the UltraStrand volumizer, and I will probably post up some photos of what I look like when I had it in. But the reason why I don't have it is because I didn't, or UltraStrands was not strong enough for my texture, and my texture is an Afro kinky, as you can see. And when I want to have an UltraStrand version of this, but now there is an UltraStrand version of Afro Kinky, and I am going to be placing my order. So I'm going to be doing some videos and walking you through the whole process of ordering the volumizer up until the point where the volumizer comes, and that is going to be on me, even including my own installation as well. So how the volumizer is going to be installed on moi. I am so looking forward, because whilst I am comfortable with my own hair as it is, I really would love to have the volumizer installed for myself, because I just want to have more volume. I find myself limited to very few styles, this being one of them. And I know that when I have the volumizer installed, I'll be able to do all sorts of different hairstyles, and it will definitely help boost my confidence and how I feel about myself. And that would be great. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But keep tuned so that you can watch me go through the whole ordering process, and it's going to help you as well, so that you'll know exactly what to do and how it works. And when you go to a technician and you see them scribble on a sheet of paper, you'll understand what that is as well, and you'll understand the timelines. And also, possibly, you never know, maybe I'm going to have some frustrations that might be frustrations that you would experience whilst you're waiting for the UltraStrands, or even apprehension, or whatever it is, right? Even to when I'm sat in the chair having my absolute UltraStrands installed, and yeah, and the maintenance. So it's going to be a great journey. I'm looking forward to that. And although my hair texture may well be different from your hair texture, but the process, and I keep hitting myself on that, but anyway, the process is still exactly the same. So it really doesn't matter what hair texture you have. The whole thing is the same. What we go through is the same, and I can't wait to share that with you. So no more questions have come on board, so I think I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to wish everybody a happy Monday. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you never know, you might see me at some point during the week. Hey, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, then go ahead and do that right now, which is claraalexander.tv. And also you can catch me on Instagram. You can catch my whole lifestyle. Check out Cheshire Life, and also check out what else you check out? I'm not going to tell you. Just check us out, and also the UltraStrand group as well. So check out UltraStrands on Instagram as well. They've got some awesome things to share. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.